heard about it a couple of months ago. There was an announcement with no details. I started to wonder if it was even going to happen. Then we started hearing about Mayweather and Pacquiao maybe. Now I'm told that it is happening, this Mayweather-Mike Tyson exhibition, and that it's going to happen April 25th in Congo. That's the plan right now.
In the Congo? Wait, is Don King part of this? It's in the Congo?
Let's bring him back, right?
Hey, let my people go, baby. Let's get it.
We have you know what? But it's arguably the two biggest names of the last, 50 years in boxing.
It's going to be dangerous for Tyson. It will not be dangerous for Tyson because, I mean, Tyson's been up in the ring with, monsters. He has a chin. He can. I'm sure he can go 6 rounds, 7 rounds, 8 rounds. But I'm just concerned about, Tyson's legacy. That's it.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are going to fight.
You thought 2026 was all about quiet boxing matchups and polite handshakes. Ha! Think again. Because the internet just exploded over the latest fight that supposedly pits Mike Tyson against Floyd Mayweather. And let me tell you, the reactions are hotter than a mid-July grill in Arizona. Fans, analysts, casual viewers, everyone has opinions. And spoiler alert, they're savage, hilarious, and borderline unhinged. Some are calling it a circus, others a joke. And a few brave souls are actually pretending it's serious, which makes the Kardashians' family drama look like a quiet knitting circle. The controversy isn't just about two legends stepping into a ring, it's about decades of hype, ego, and social media chaos colliding into one absurd, unmissable spectacle. Every leaked quote, every cryptic Instagram post, every side-eye from the commentators feels like someone dropped a Molotov cocktail into a popcorn bucket. And the truth: people are arguing, roasting, and memeing faster than Tyson can throw a jab. Or at least faster than he used to. This fight has turned into a cultural hurricane. Allegations, opinions, and hot takes are flying so fast it makes a Twitter algorithm look slow. Whether you're a die-hard boxing fan or just scrolling for entertainment, one thing is clear: this is wild, it's messy, and it's impossible to ignore. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear is the boxing world spilling secrets like never before. And trust me, it's brutally hilarious. It all started with whispers. Quiet at first, like the calm before a hurricane. Then BOOM social media exploded faster than a Mike Tyson uppercut. Rumors of a Tyson versus Mayweather showdown weren't new, but this iteration, this one was dripping with ego, hype, and just the right amount of absurdity to make people question their life choices. Analysts, casual fans, and keyboard warriors alike suddenly became expert fight pundits overnight. Screenshots of leaked comments, cryptic posts, and interviews were dissected like high-stakes evidence, and everyone suddenly knew more than the fighters themselves. Social media turned into a war room, and we were all drafted without consent. The first reactions were priceless. Some people laughed, some cried, and some just stared at their screens in existential horror. "It's a joke," one analyst declared, and the comment went viral within minutes. But of course, that didn't stop hundreds of others from taking it seriously, building complex theories about strategy, stamina, and ring psychology. The juxtaposition was cinematic. On one side, Tyson, the baddest man on the planet in his prime, looking like he could knock a planet off orbit. On the other, Mayweather, the undefeated master of defense, dancing around punches like life itself was a video game cheat code. It was chaos wrapped in a bow, served on a platter of pure entertainment, and then the leaks hit. Oh, the leaks. Clips of behind-the-scenes commentary, snarky remarks from trainers, and cryptic quotes from promoters spread faster than wildfire. People were analyzing Tyson's footwork from decades-old fights, cross-referencing with Mayweather's evasive style, and somehow connecting it to Instagram captions posted in 2017. Every side-eye, every smirk, every eyebrow raise became evidence of some grand conspiracy. Fans weren't just talking, they were building a narrative. A Netflix-level drama, all in real time, fueled by caffeine and the addictive rush of virtual chaos. The boxing world itself had opinions, and they weren't holding back. Former champions, commentators, and influencers unleashed their takes like verbal punches. "This is theater," one veteran said, shaking his head as if the entire sport had been turned into a Broadway musical. Another declared, "I don't know who's fighting whom, but it's already embarrassing." And the memes day exploded across platforms, each one more savage than the last. Tyson photoshopped riding a unicorn against Mayweather wielding bubblegum nunchucks. Check. A gif of Mayweather dodging a punch only for Tyson to vanish into a cloud of smoke. Double check. The absurdity was peak internet culture, making even the wildest boxing rumors look tame. But beneath the humor, tension was simmering. Fans were divided into camps so rigid you'd think the fate of humanity depended on it. Tyson diehards were ready to storm the ring in their living rooms. Mayweather loyalists posted multi-part breakdowns analyzing his defensive genius like it was quantum physics. And every casual observer caught in the middle had to wade through a tidal wave of hot takes, leaked insights, and outright nonsense just to find a shred of truth. It was exhausting, entertaining, and utterly irresistible all at once. The controversy wasn't just in the arena, it infiltrated every corner of social media. Instagram Reels turned into mini documentaries. Twitter threads morphed into digital research papers. And TikTok creators produced cinematic reenactments that somehow made both fighters look like superheroes. And cartoon villains simultaneously. Sidebars comparing this fight to celebrity drama. Pop culture references and absurd hypotheticals flooded every platform. Someone even calculated that if this fight were an actual cinematic event, it would outgrass every Marvel movie in history. And honestly, it didn't feel like hyperbole. Public reactions only escalated the spectacle. Fans debated who would win in hypothetical scenarios that ranged from Tyson in his prime versus Mayweather in his prime to Tyson versus Mayweather with lightsabers in zero gravity. Every comment section became a battlefield of wit, outrage, and pure absurdity. People quoted old interviews, dug up archived clips, and even fact-checked trainer statements from decades past. And with every fresh take, the internet's collective pulse quickened. This wasn't just hype, it was a full-blown cultural event, simultaneously ridiculous and unignorable. Meanwhile, celebrity reactions added another layer of madness. Sports figures, entertainers, and influencers jumped into the conversation like it was a free-for-all buffet. Some roasted the matchup mercilessly. Others pretended to analyze it like serious analysts. One influencer tweeted, "This is like putting Godzilla in a chess tournament," and the internet collectively lost it. Every endorsement, mockery, or cryptic joke became another thread in a tapestry of chaos. And as always, the more outrageous the comparison, the faster it spread. Even promoters and insiders joined the commentary. Some sarcastically, some seriously, adding fuel to the fire. Rumors of training sessions, private sparring, and secret strategies leaked faster than anyone could verify. People were debating gloves, ring size, and even who would do better in a shadowboxing duel on a trampoline. The minutia was absurd, the stakes imaginary, yet somehow the excitement was real. Social media had transformed an already wild concept into an all-consuming spectacle, complete with drama, humor, and endless debate. At the center of it all were the fighters themselves, or at least the perception of them. Tyson, a living legend with a bite of history in every punch, was suddenly being recontextualized in memes as both terrifying and hilarious. Mayweather, the undefeated defensive genius, was portrayed as a wizard dodging imaginary spells. And the public ate it up, blending admiration with mockery, seriousness with satire. until the lines between reality and exaggeration blurred into pure internet gold. And then, of course, came the conspiracies. Oh, the conspiracies. Some claimed this fight was a publicity stunt, so clever it would make the Kardashians look like amateurs. Others swore it was secretly a metaphor for generational clashes. Old school grit versus modern finesse, or some other highbrow nonsense that no one asked for. Every angle was analyzed. Every leak reinterpreted. Every sarcastic comment treated as gospel. The deeper you dug, the more absurd it became. And yet, the more addictive. By the end of the week, the Tyson versus Mayweather saga had become a living entity. It grew faster than anyone could track, fueled by outrage, humor, speculation, and pure human fascination with chaos. Social media wasn't just observing, it was participating, creating, and evolving the story with every post, comment, and meme. And the best part? It had done all of this before a single glove even touched a canvas. This was more than a fight. It was a cultural phenomenon, a viral storm, a perfect storm of absurdity, hype, and humor. And the public, absolutely addicted. Every day brought new leaks, new memes, new reactions, and new reasons to argue, laugh, and obsess. Tyson versus Mayweather wasn't just a match, it was the world's longest running, most dramatic, and most hilarious hypothetical event. And no one could look away, just when everyone thought the hype had peaked. Social media exploded with reactions that made the first wave look like a polite tea party. The memes alone could have launched 100 viral campaigns. Tyson photoshopped with jetpacks, dodging Mayweather's lightning-fast punches. Mayweather illustrated as Neo from The Matrix, bending reality with defensive wizardry, while Tyson stomped the ground like Godzilla in a rage. People weren't just creating jokes, they were crafting entire cinematic universes around a fight that technically hadn't even happened. Twitter threads became thread universes. TikTok creators made entire fight trailers with dramatic music. And Instagram Reels turned into mini documentaries, complete with slow-motion replays, dramatic zooms, and suspiciously timed sound effects. The chaos wasn't just viral, it was a full-blown cultural event. Celebrity reactions poured in like a monsoon. Former fighters, trainers, and analysts weighed in with savage honesty that had the internet gasping for air. "This is a joke," one legend tweeted, succinctly summing up the consensus. Another posted, "I'd pay to see it, but only if they wear foam gloves and battle in a bounce house." And the comment section erupted like a fireworks show on steroids. Even pop stars and comedians chimed in with cryptic takes, GIFs, and one-liners, turning the hype into an unstoppable media storm. It became impossible to scroll without encountering someone comparing this hypothetical fight to gladiators in space, superheroes in limbo, or even legendary cartoon brawls. The comparisons were wild, the exaggeration relentless, and the absurdity utterly irresistible. Then came the conspiracy theories. Of course, the internet doesn't do normal. Some claimed Tyson had secretly been training with mystical monks to regain his prime strength overnight, while Mayweather allegedly had a new AI-powered strategy that would make the laws of physics jealous. Others swore it was a covert marketing ploy so genius it could make Elon Musk look like a lemonade stand entrepreneur. Every cryptic post, every vague hint from promoters, and every sarcastic comment was dissected frame by frame. Fans turned into detectives, piecing together what they claimed was a grand narrative hidden between the lines. It was over the top, ridiculous, and exactly what kept people glued to their screens. And the public outrage. Oh, the public outrage. Social media users divided themselves into camps faster than a boxing ring could separate fighters. Tyson loyalists were ready to storm the streets virtually, declaring him the only true force of nature capable of smashing Mayweather. Mayweather diehards posted multi-part videos analyzing his footwork like it was an advanced calculus equation. And casual viewers, they were caught in a hurricane of opinions, memes, and conspiracy theories so intense it made their notifications explode like confetti cannons in a stadium. Even news outlets joined the frenzy, turning what should have been a fun speculation into headline-level chaos. The escalation didn't stop there. Every cryptic quote, every smirk caught on camera, every training video from years ago suddenly resurfaced. Fans pulled archived interviews, rewatched old fights, and cross-referenced every move like anthropologists studying a long-lost civilization of punches and dodges. Analysts tried to rationalize the fight's legitimacy, while meme creators gleefully imagined Tyson and Mayweather in scenarios that made WWE look like a neighborhood sparring match. At one point, someone compared the fight to Gandalf dueling Thanos in slow motion. And the internet unanimously agreed it was a perfect analogy. Even influencers jumped in, hyping the drama with exaggerated takes and hyperbolic predictions. This will be the fight of the century, one declared, even if it's staged entirely on trampolines with safety nets. Another tweeted, "Tyson versus Mayweather is like watching two gods argue over who invented the universe first." And somehow the metaphor made perfect sense in the collective imagination. The story evolved faster than anyone could fact-check, blending reality with absurdity until the line between what could happen and what was purely comedic vanished entirely. Behind the scenes, insiders dropped hints that made the speculation even wilder. Trainers, promoters, and ex-fitters teased comments that hinted at secret strategies, special conditions, and even rule changes that sounded more like video game cheat codes than legitimate boxing regulations. The internet, of course, took this as confirmation that something epic and entirely insane was coming. Side-by-side analyses, GIF breakdowns, and sarcastic mock fight posters proliferated across every platform. Fans weren't just watching, they were participating in creating the narrative, each post adding a new layer to the absurd mythology of the fight. Celebrity endorsements, or rather celebrity roasts, continued to pour gasoline on the fire. One comedian suggested Tyson might win with a single eyebrow raise, while another argued Mayweather's legendary defense could turn punches into harmless air hugs. Pop culture comparisons were endless. Tyson as King Kong, Mayweather as a ninja from a futuristic dystopia. Each scenario more ridiculous and over the top than the last. The sheer volume of imagination applied to this hypothetical match was staggering, making it feel like the world had collectively entered a fever dream. And the fever wasn't breaking anytime soon. Meanwhile, memes became the primary lens through which fans engaged. Animated versions of the fighters duking it out in space stations, underwater arenas, and ancient coliseums circulated faster than any legitimate analysis. One viral clip depicted Mayweather dodging a Tyson punch while riding a hoverboard, complete with a dramatic soundtrack that made it feel like a Marvel trailer. Another had Tyson launching Mayweather into the stratosphere like a human cannonball. Humor, exaggeration, and sheer absurdity became the lingua franca of the conversation, transforming what could have been a single news story into a sprawling, multi-platform spectacle. Public opinion was at peak frenzy. Every fan had a hot take, every analyst had a fact, and every casual observer became an unwitting participant in a global joke that somehow felt high stakes. The fight transcended sport. It became a cultural event, a viral phenomenon, and a living, breathing meme factory all rolled into one. Every leaked comment, every cryptic post, and every sarcastic remark became fuel for the next wave of conversation. Keeping the hype engine roaring at full throttle, even mainstream media couldn't resist. Articles popped up dissecting the possible outcomes as though the fight were a national emergency. One headline asked, "Could Tyson's power overcome Mayweather's speed in a 2026 showdown?" While another snarked, the world might never recover from the absurdity. Podcasts. Live streams and YouTube channels churned out hours of content, further blurring the line between analysis and pure entertainment. The narrative was self-perpetuating, an endless feedback loop of speculation, sarcasm, and memes that only escalated the drama by this point. It wasn't about who would win it was about who could generate the most outrageous commentary. Fans debated, joked, and theorized in ways that were as creative as they were ridiculous. Tyson's prime versus Mayweather's prime became a concept for metaphysical debate. Alternate scenarios popped up: fighters in armored suits, battles in zero gravity, and even hypothetical rematches in the Wild West with spurs and six-shooters. The imagination of the public knew no bounds, and every absurd theory only amplified engagement. The chaos reached its peak when leaked insider interviews hinted at potential plot twists, rumored special rules, surprise guest fighters, and the possibility of an unexpected twist that would rewrite all predictions. People analyzed every word, every pause, and every smirk, declaring conspiracies that ranged from mildly plausible to outright insane. And just when you thought it couldn't get more convoluted, the public doubled down, creating timelines, maps, and even mock betting odds to try to make sense of the spectacle. By the end of it, Tyson versus Mayweather wasn't just a hypothetical fight, was a full-blown cultural moment. The memes, the celebrity reactions, the absurd theories, and the relentless commentary had transformed a simple concept into an unstoppable viral machine. Fans were glued to every post, every clip, and every sarcastic take, addicted to the chaos. It was funny, ridiculous, and completely unignorable. The drama had escalated, the speculation had reached fever pitch, and the internet wasn't ready to let go anytime soon. By the time the dust started settling, or at least pretending to settle, the aftermath of the Tyson versus Mayweather hype storm was nothing short of legendary. Reputations had been simultaneously elevated, shredded, and memed into oblivion. Social media users weren't just observers anymore. They were judges, jurors, and entertainment critics all at once. Every influencer who had commented, every fan who had theorized, every meme creator who had Photoshop wizarded the fighters into space, had participated in building a narrative that now had a life of its own. The sheer velocity of speculation left the actual facts gasping for air. The fighters themselves became mythical symbols, almost untouchable in public perception. Tyson was lionized as the ultimate force of nature, capable of punching through the internet itself, while Mayweather was hailed as a tactical wizard who could dodge logic, reason, and even gravity. Every joke, every meme, every sarcastic commentary turned into a permanent fixture of their public images. Public perception didn't care about reality, cared about entertainment value. And in that realm, this saga had won by knockout. Comparisons to pop culture were unavoidable. Tyson was Godzilla. Mayweather was Neo. The fight itself was the internet. The fight itself was the internet. Olympics meets the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a perfect storm of hype, satire, and absurdity. Brands and promoters also felt the ripple effects. Marketing teams suddenly realized that even a joke fight could generate viral attention worth millions in exposure. Every article, video, and live stream drove engagement metrics into the stratosphere. Collaborations that had seemed irrelevant a week ago now felt like potential gold mines. Sponsors were scrambling, trying to ride the wave without appearing tone-deaf to the absurdity that had consumed the internet. It was a reminder. In the modern era, spectacle and virality often outweigh actual content. The hype machine doesn't ask for permission. Nick just runs full speed ahead, leaving everyone else playing catch. Fan engagement reached levels previously thought impossible. Comment sections became heated debates. Meme threads became historical documents. and live streams exploded with viewers arguing over which hypothetical punch would land first. Some fans were convinced that Tyson could still knock out Mayweather with a single swing. Others defended Mayweather's defensive genius as if he were an indestructible AI, and the most dedicated of all. They created elaborate battle simulations in video games, animation software, and even Excel spreadsheets, trying to calculate the outcome in painstaking detail. The obsession was as ridiculous as it was impressive. Meanwhile, mainstream media had no choice but to ride the wave. Headlines ranged from sensational to sarcastic, with subheadlines asking, "Is this fight actually happening? Or did the internet just break reality again?" Opinion pieces debated whether it was the most ridiculous event in sports history or a genius marketing ploy. And podcasts churned out hours of content analyzing clips, tweets, and leaks. Every platform participated in magnifying the spectacle, and every post contributed to the mythologizing of the fight. By the end of it, even casual viewers felt like they had to weigh in or risk being left out of the cultural moment. The aftershocks weren't limited to perception. They impacted relationships, alliances, and fan communities. Online arguments flared between die-hard Tyson supporters and Mayweather loyalists, sometimes descending into full-blown chaos that required moderators to intervene. Social media etiquette went out the window. Sarcasm, exaggeration, and absurd hypotheticals replaced civility. And the collective energy of the fandom became almost unbearable in its intensity. People argued over hypothetical punches, imaginary knockouts, and fantasy rematches like it was a matter of national security. The memes themselves became a historical record. Each iteration immortalized a moment of absurdity. From Tyson riding a rocket-powered elephant to Mayweather dodging punches in slow motion while sipping tea. The humor was savage, the exaggeration relentless, and the creativity unmatched. Even weeks later, people were sharing compilations, reanimating GIFs, and riffing on jokes that had originated in the early stages of the hype. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a living archive of absurdity. A digital monument to the collective imagination of the internet. Public perception solidified into something remarkable. Tyson and Mayweather weren't just athletes, they were archetypes. Symbols of opposing forces in a universe where logic and reality were optional. The fight itself became more important as a cultural phenomenon than as a sporting event. Every sarcastic comment, every conspiracy theory, every exaggerated meme added to the mythology. People weren't debating the logistics, they were debating legends, personas, and what it meant to witness an event so ridiculous it could only exist in the internet age. And of course, the satire didn't end. Influencers, comedians, and late-night hosts continued to reference the fight as a running joke that transcended platforms. Every appearance, post, and live stream added layers to the narrative, ensuring that the event remained relevant even in the absence of a real bout. Tyson's grin became a meme icon, Mayweather's smirk a symbol of invincibility, and the hypothetical punches an endless source of speculation. Humor and hyperbole had transformed the fight into cultural currency, making the absurdity feel essential. Behind the laughter, however, the saga had consequences. Some traditional fans expressed frustration that the sport was being reduced to parody. Others worried about younger viewers conflating memes with reality. And yet, the broader impact was undeniable. The event had captivated global attention, demonstrated the power of social media amplification, and illustrated how a joke could become a historic cultural touchstone. Tyson versus Mayweather had transcended sport, becoming a case study in modern media, perception, and virality. By the time the hype began to stabilize, the saga had left an indelible mark. Tyson and Mayweather were no longer just athletes, they were cultural symbols. Public perception, brand value, and even the internet's collective humor ecosystem had been reshaped by the frenzy. Memes would continue to circulate, analyses would continue to be cited. And casual observers would forever reference the absurdity as an iconic moment in digital culture. The fight, real or imagined, had achieved a level of notoriety that few events ever reach, proving that spectacle, exaggeration, and collective obsession can redefine reality itself. And yet, the story didn't feel complete. Even as attention shifted to other news, social media threads remained alive. Fans continued to riff on scenarios, and the mythology of the fight persisted like an unkillable digital ghost. Tyson versus Mayweather wasn't just a story, it was an evolving legend. Fueled by humor, hype, and the relentless creativity of a global audience addicted to drama. The aftermath was messy, hilarious, and unforgettable. It left viewers simultaneously entertained, exasperated, and deeply hooked. In the end, the fight wasn't about winners or losers. It was about chaos, virality, and the way absurdity can capture the world's imagination. It was a reminder that in the internet age, perception outweighs reality, hype becomes legend, and even a joke can turn into a historic event. Tyson and Mayweather had entered the ring of public attention and emerged as icons of an era where entertainment, exaggeration, and sarcasm rule supreme. The digital footprint of this saga will live forever. Memes, GIFs, tweets, and reactions serving as permanent markers of a fight that existed simultaneously everywhere and nowhere. Fans will continue to debate hypothetical knockouts. Influencers will keep remixing memes, and the story will evolve in unpredictable ways. Tyson versus Mayweather had achieved immortality, not in a ring, but in the hearts, screens, and timelines of millions worldwide. And that, my friends, is the true knockout. All right, fight fans, meme lords, and chaos connoisseurs, you thought that Tyson versus Mayweather spectacle was wild? Buckle up, because this is where you get involved. Smash that like button like it owes you rent. Slam that subscribe like your Wi-Fi depends on staying updated. And drop a comment with your hottest takes, because trust me, everyone's opinion counts when the internet turns into a digital gladiator arena. Don't be the person who scrolls by. Silently participate, roast, theorize, and fuel the hype. Every day brings new leaks, cryptic posts, absurd memes, and celebrity reactions. And you do not want to be left behind when the next twist goes viral. Hit that notification bell like it's your personal hype assistant. Because on Punch Press, we deliver the drama, the sarcasm, and the chaos straight to your screen before anyone else even notices it. The fight might be a joke, but the commentary, the memes, and the outrageous takes, totally real and totally addictive. Remember, this isn't just content, it's a full-blown cultural storm. Every like fuels the madness, every comment adds another layer to the narrative, and every subscriber strengthens your front row seat to the internet's most outrageous spectacles. We cover leaks, reactions, scandals, and drama with savage honesty, sarcastic humor, and over-the-top exaggeration that you won't find anywhere else. So join the madness. Stay loud and keep those notifications on, because on Punch Press, the jokes are savage, the chaos is constant, and the hype never dies. Tyson versus Mayweather may be imaginary, but your front row access to drama is 100% real. Smash that button, drop your take, and remember here, the internet doesn't sleep. Neither should your obsession with the wildest stories online. The wildest stories online.